Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Small Engine Velocity. Today is a Ruckus video, which I know that a lot of people have been like really wanting a Ruckus video lately. So everybody knows Brad from Friction Zone, or at least if you don't know, he's a friend of mine who has a YouTube channel also. He's the guy who got me started in YouTube to begin with a long time ago. Anyways, he bought my extra Ruckus that I had for my wife. We sold it because she broke her hand on it and she didn't want to ride it anymore, so might as well get some use out of it. And we went ahead and handed it over to him. Well, we sold it to him. Well, long story short, he wanted to finally go ahead and do a rebuild on it, and he took it apart. The frame, when they cut off the back part, it looked really terrible. A lot of the paint was terrible. There was a lot of Plastidip on it. It looked terrible. It was like red and black and all sorts of other stuff when it was peeling off. It just looked bad. So he brought everything over, including the motor. What he wanted to do was take apart the motor and check the piston, but I think in reality, what he wanted was to actually open the motor and take a look and see what it looked like on the inside. Anyways, now that it's apart, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a quick little tour as to what it looks like inside of a Honda Ruckus 49cc Get Motor stock, to kind of get a grasp as to what you're trying to get you to do, what you're trying to get you to go 50, 60 miles per hour. And to me, it's absolutely amazing that we can get to 50, 60 miles per hour on a 4-stroke motor of this size. Anyways, let's run that intro and then we can get to it. All right, so we already took the motor apart. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, here's the motor in its little pieces. This is obviously the valves, or the lifters for the valves. The valves are on the other side, but this is where you usually do a valve shim. Now, I'm going to be using this later on to do an instructional video on how to replace the valves properly, or the shims in here properly. But anyways, let's take a look at the other side. Let's turn on a light. There we go. Move it a little closer. All right, so this is your intake. This is your exhaust in here, inside the chamber right here. And then this little screw right here is where the spark plug goes. If you're curious, this is the intake, and then right down here is the exhaust. Take a look at how small the exhaust is. It's really dirty. Probably need to clean it. Anyways, then you can see the water jackets around here where it's supposed to go. And this is where normally you see the timing chain coming through over here. And of course, there's little, alignment pegs here. I don't know if you ever know or was part of the video before, but I forgot to put these on my GY6 that luckily Lee figured out for me. But anyways, let's give you a grasp of the size of this exhaust. Here I have standard coins in the United States: a quarter, a nickel, a penny, a dime. So let's look. I think a quarter should be about right. Even a quarter is bigger than that exhaust valve. Let's check the nickel. A nickel is about right for the size. To give you a grasp as to how much exhaust gas is coming out, it's just enough to do a nickel. Wow, that's crazy. And then let's try the dime. The dime is a little bit bigger than it, but that gives you an idea of how big this is in total right here. I mean, it's like the bottom size of a Dixie cup. To me, that's pretty freaking amazing that we can get something this tiny to go 50 miles per hour. Then we have the piston. And here is the piston, right? To give you an idea of how big it is for scale, there's a quarter. So it is immensely small for what it does. If I turn it a little bit, there you go. You can see it come out, and if you look on the inside, the walls look pretty good. Nothing's wrong with it, it just needs to be cleaned up a little bit on here. Now, when you're asking to make a 49cc Honda Ruckus Get Motor go 50 miles per hour, keep this in mind. And the reason that you need to keep this in mind is because you're trying to squeeze as much as you can out of something absolutely tiny, as opposed to bigger bikes where you put more displacement and more pistons and you can get it to obviously go easier than 50 miles per hour only because of displacement. Then think about the number of cc's. This is a 49cc motor. If you go 50 miles per hour, then you're doing 1 mile per hour per cc. Now, try to apply that same logic to a liter bike. Does a liter bike go 1,000 miles per hour? Does my 650 go 650 miles per hour? Does my 171 Honda Ruckus go 171 miles per hour? No. So be proud if you hit 50 that you are doing amazing things with something as tiny as a Honda Ruckus Get motor. There are many other features on a Get motor that are awesome. For example, it's water cooled. 2, it doesn't have a starter, it uses a magneto start, right? 3, it uses an ECU with a fuel pump, right? Electric fuel pump. I know some people are cringing because their fuel pumps die and stuff like that. And the only thing it's missing is fuel injection on here. But anyways, I wanted to give you a little bit of a glimpse onto the inside of a Honda Ruckus Get motor and why it's so amazing, and that the tuning that you do absolutely is miracles in your garage. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.